Hello and welcome to English with Jimmy. And today's subject is Ramadan, the holy month of Ramadan and its celebration in Egypt. We previously we made a video, okay? I made a video about Christmas and how we celebrate it in the United Kingdom, in England, okay, and all the tradition, customs, and the food and whatsoever, all that about Christmas. So this time we will talk about Ramadan. What happened in Ramadan, what is Ramadan, and the customs and habits and tradition of celebrating Ramadan in an Islamic country like Egypt. Ramadan is the ninth month of the Muslim lunar year because it uses the moon actually, okay, phases to calculate the days and things like that, okay, and it is a time of fasting, blessings, and prayers to commemorate the revelation of the first verses of the Quran to the Prophet Muhammad by the Holy Spirit Gabriel, okay? It is a time when Muslims refrain from eating during daylight hours as an act of sacrifice, okay, that reminds them of the challenges of the poor. So Muslims in Ramadan, they fast and they stop eating and drinking from dawn, from sunrise to sunset. Obviously, it's a very daunting task, okay? Maybe you can stop eating, it's okay, but to stop drinking as well in such hot countries in the Middle East is really very difficult. I admire my Muslim friends and their adherence to their religion and its instructions. Normally, the daily meals for any Muslim or any normal person in life is probably breakfast and then lunch and then dinner. Okay. Well, the daily meals in Ramadan in Asia, for example, become limited to two. So the first of which is called iftar, like break fast. This is when sunset and they break the fast, which is breaking the fasting that takes place immediately with sunset. Okay, many of them actually they break the fast with eating something or drinking something sweet, and then they start praying, and then they go back to eat. The timing of the second meal, or they call it suhoor, which is just about, let's say, an hour or half an hour before sunrise, before dawn, is variable according to a personal preference, but most of them probably will do it just, they will be like eating and drinking quickly, okay, before sunrise. But usually delayed as much as possible, that's right, until just before dawn. In between iftar and suhoor, people are allowed to eat and drink liberally. That's just true. They can keep eating and drinking between iftar, sunset, and sunrise. Muslims actually in that month become very religious. They visit mosques quite a lot. They pray regularly, okay, and they normally pray 5 times a day, okay, from sunrise to sunset. But they also in Ramadan they extend that. They read the Quran a lot. They pray a lot. They pray. They ask God, okay, for forgiveness and so on. After breaking the fast at sunset, the city, let's say Cairo, okay, comes to life with different activities, shopping malls, and at hotels where Ramadan theme tents. They have tents, okay, for singing and things like that are set up, and folklore entertainment is held at a nightly basis. Okay, most of the activities will be based on Islamic songs and religious songs rather than normal belly dancing or any kind of activity of such sort. Okay. Also, alcohol is prohibited in Ramadan, so all the shops that in Cairo or in Egypt that sells alcohol are closed. Okay, so if you are living there and you are like a non-Muslim and you'd like to have a drink or whatever, you better stock on it before the month begins. Okay, nightly basis. That's right. Okay, sitting in one of the cafes on the Nile is also very pleasant. Yes, it's pleasant to sit by the Nile, a pleasant view and nice atmosphere where there is light entertainment and good food offered. Obviously, food is, especially in Ramadan, is really delicious. The mosques are all lit up. That's true. Shops are open almost all night. The streets are decorated in Ramadan theme, exactly like Christmas. Okay, and the food displayed in the shops is the customary offered, especially during the holy months. A certain food that Muslims like to eat in the holy months of Ramadan. Egypt has a different flavor during the holy months. Absolutely. It's exactly like you come to England, okay? You'll find, because of this, the Christmas spirit, it's the same thing. It's like a Ramadan spirit in that month, okay? Uh, Especially if it's in the summer, like in August or something like that, okay? It's best planned schedule where the most famous ancient and religious sites in Egypt are to be covered earlier in the day, followed by museums that tend to open a little later during Ramadan. That's if people want to see some like ancient, famous ancient landmark or religious places or something like that. Here is some of the food that or the sweets that the people in Egypt would like to eat. The Egyptians, it's called Konafa, and you can see it's very, very delicious, very, very sweety. So if you are on a diet, be careful, you'll put on a lot of weight, okay? The Konafa is made of flour and syrup, sweets, and custard, and it has a certain method and nuts, okay, different types. But as you can see, it's really, really delicious sweets to eat. Kataif is also another type of sweets. It's also stuffed inside with nuts and maybe custard or something like that. Okay, also very sweet, and it's dipped in syrups, sugary syrup. Very, very, very sweet. Yes. This is called Kushaf, which is a mix of dried fruits like plums. When they dry it with citric acid, it becomes prunes, okay, and apricot, dried apricot, and raisins, okay, and dates, and they mix them together sometimes with syrup or with milk, and also nuts as well. It's very full of nutrition actually for the body, especially if you're fasting all day. So you need to get enough a boost to your sugar level and get some energy. So that kushaf is so, you can call it, as I said, dried mixed fruits, okay, in syrup. It's very, very delicious and very healthy and full of nutrition. Here's another type of kushaf. Yes, another photo. It's tradition that the rich offer as an act of kindness, actually, for the poor, free iftar, okay, free breakfast when sunset happens. And such tables, you can see a massive table here with a large number of people are all eating. Many of them are probably invited to eat, okay, for free. This is just offered as a show of kindness and solidarity between society, between the rich and the poor, and also for just the praise of the Lord and to try and help the poor in such a holy month. The food actually of the highest quality and the hygiene is very good. Okay, so everything here, as you can see, is very, very okay, delicious. But yeah, both actually, the sweets and the normal food that you like to eat. Here is a traditional family having iftar. Okay, the children, mom and dad, that's probably during the months privately, but normally most of the months you will get be invited by relatives. So the uncle and aunties and the grandma and granddad and so on. Okay, they invite each other. So the whole family gathering happens during the whole month. Also, company employees, if you work in a company, there might be an iftar invitation. Where the whole workers, okay, they meet and eat together. It's a very happy and exciting time. Here is another iftar by the Nile River outside, as you can see, a group of people having iftar in Ramadan. I must admit, it's also, it whets your appetite to look at all the lovely food when you are there. If you are there, and I recommend you visit Egypt, especially in the months of Ramadan, you're really going to have a good time. Here is another iftar by the uh, swimming pool here near the pyramids, okay, in Giza. Yes, okay. You recognize this, and it's also a very pleasant place to. And the weather is really ever so warm most of the year, actually, in Egypt. So hardly any rain, so it's really very pleasant. In the past, most people didn't have watches to know when the sun set, so they normally used to sit uh, at home waiting for the call for prayer, which we know, as you said, the Muslims pray 5 times a day. So when it's sunset, it's time. There's a call for prayer from the mosques and uh, the minarets of the mosque, I think. Yes, they call it. Oh, okay, so the people know that sunset and they start to eat. But after the discovery of gunpowder and cannons, a cannon is being used when it's sunset. The cannon will be fired, okay, and the loud noise will let the whole people who are living in, let's say, I don't know, in Cairo or in Alexandria or any other city. Every city will have a cannon, and that cannon, when the firing of that cannon will be an indication that the sun has set, and the people will start to eat and to break the fast, and it's sunset time. As you can see, here's a tradition. You can see the Egyptian flag, I think, and the cannon. That's for only in Ramadan, just during the 30 days of Ramadan. They recognize, as I said, the Ramadan by waiting for the crescent. Okay, once it's recognized, as you can see, the crescent of the moon as a crescent. Okay, there will be like the Islamic institution. Okay, will issue announce that it's the first of Ramadan and people will start fast. The cartoon you can see here says Ramadan Kareem, and Kareem means generous, which is truly is true actually. I mean, if you're walking in the street at the time of sunset, you'll find that people offering you food for free. Okay, they could stop you, and you can stop your car and just get out. I was with a friend, and we were stopped and got out, and we were offered food for iftar. Free of charge, of course. Yes, you don't pay anything. They offer you dates, they offer you juice, they offer you food, a table you can sit and eat. And you got, I don't know, chicken, meat, and rice, and lots of vegetables in tomato sauce. It's very good. The picture you see here for that gentleman, they have a tradition in Cairo or in Egypt is before sunrise, before dawn, there will be a gentleman who, as I said, because at that time they didn't have alarm clocks and they didn't have any way of knowing the time. So that gentleman's job is to walk in the streets with a drumming on them to wake the people up for the meal before sunrise. Yes, suhoor. Okay, before suhoor, the gentleman will the drummer will be making the drums in the streets, okay, and asking the people to wake up so they can eat before sunrise. Because once it's sunrise and the call for prayer for dawn starts, they will stop eating and drinking completely. So everyone will hurry actually, and they try to like drink lots of water, lots of yogurt, lots of watery fruit like cucumbers and things like that, in order to have stamina and they can last the whole day under the scorching, sweltering heat actually in Egypt. So that gentleman job is very much appreciated. It was now they have. I mean, we have computers and watches and TV. Okay, so we know the time, but it's just a tradition actually, and people are very generous actually toward that gentleman who volunteers to do that job, and he probably gets lots of donations and support from the neighborhood for the job, the good job that he does in the holy months. Only in the holy months for 30 days. So. Yes, the drummer, okay, the midnight drummer. Ramadan drinks, we all know that fasting in the overpowering Middle Eastern heat is a daunting task. Yes, it is actually. When Ramadan arrives in the summer, there's only one thing to do: is you break your fast by gulping some of these delicious, nourishing, and energy-providing drinks that are full of essential minerals and vitamins, which is absolutely true. So there's lots of drinks, nice drinks that Egyptians like to drink in the holy months of Ramadan, like Amar El Din, which is dried apricot paste, okay, leathery paste. They put it in, I don't know, in water or something like that, and they turn it into a juice and they drink it. Amar El Din, that's dried apricot. Also, there is Tamar Hindi, which is tamarind juice. Tamarind juice is also good. There is also Bala Bel Laban, okay, which is dates in milk. That's very full of nutrition, actually, and energy and sugary and a good drink. Carcada, hibiscus rose petals, China rose, Russell, and Juju, okay. It's a kind of a sweetie drink, okay, a little bit pinkish, and it's good. It's nice, yes. Erk Sus, which is licorice juice. It's also very nice drink actually. Carob, which is carob juice or locust, it's also sugary drink. It's nice to drink. It's good. A little bit. Looks a little bit dark brownish, something like that. Dome drink, hyphen plant. It's also a nice drink. Okay. I tried some of them actually. They're really delicious. They're very good. Number 8 to drink is something called sobia. Sobia drink, okay, which is barley, raisins, and cinnamon drink. Also very good. Kushaf is a dry fruits mix, okay, and nuts mix, okay, fruit salad and compote. I think we showed you a photo of that one. Okay. Yes, that is the Kushaf. Yes, Kushaf. It's very nice. Also, minty lemonade is also good. Okay, minty lemonade is good. So all these lovely drinks, as you can see, there's about 10 of them here, as you can see. Okay, so Amaraldin, Tamrahinde, Bala, Bilabon, Kakade, Erksus, and Karub, and Dome drink, and Sobia, and Hushav, and minty lemonade. So plenty of different drinks. That's beside the soda and the Coke and the Sprite that we normally used to drink, and the tonic water and things like that. Okay, Coke, I don't know, Pepsi. There's all sorts, and juice. Obviously, you can have whatever kind of fruit juice you want. Okay, I don't know, orange juice, banana with milk and honey and so, or anything that will provide you with energy and sugar to compensate for the liquids and that you lost by sweating and during the day without being able. So because if you don't drink, you'll be dehydrated, and that's not good for your body or for your kidney. It's really harsh. You can stop eating, but drinking is essential. So you should drink plenty of water if you are fasting in a very hot country like Egypt. For my students who speak Arabic, okay, I got translation from Google Translate actually. Okay, about the drinks that you drink in Ramadan, and you can see here. Okay, the Arabic writing for it, and here are the drinks. I think you recognize they will recognize. Okay, any Arabic speaking students will recognize these. So you can see here the names like number one, number two, and that might help you. Okay, there. Okay, okay, good. 5, 7, 8, and 9, and 10. These are all the drinks that Egyptians, Muslim Egyptians, like to drink in Ramadan, beside the normal drinks that you drink during the rest of the year. Okay. During the day, when the weather is really too hot, especially in the summer, it's not advisable to wander about, okay, under the sun unless you're using a cream, a sunblock, or something like that to protect your skin. But Cairo and Alexandria, they have lots of lovely shopping malls where you can wander about. It's air conditioned and very pleasant inside, okay? But outside, definitely the heat will be too much, okay? Uh, you can browse around all the bazaars and all the shops and buy any clothes or artifacts or handcraft icons or whatever for pharaonic or Islamic or what any whatever is to your liking. You can buy jewelry, gold, silver, and okay in Khan el Khalili area. Okay. Personally, I stay in Alexandria, or I prefer it there. Obviously, it has a very nice atmosphere. Okay, during Ramadan, you can walk on the sidewalk, cafes by the sea, the Corniche, that's what they call it, Corniche. Okay, lots of nice areas, and fishermen area, and you can eat fish at a very reasonable prices. Actually, at the restaurants there by the sea, delicious. And whether you're there day and night, okay, in the evening, a visit to a famous mosque, Morsia, okay, yes, you are allowed to visit mosque, providing you have to like remove your shoes, okay, because it's tradition for Muslims, okay, that you must remove your shoes, and ladies should cover their hair with scarf and wear modesty. So they like the clothes must be very respectable because it's a holy place inside the mosque. Okay. After in the last 10 days of Ramadan, there is a special night. This is the night when the verses of the Quran was like came down from the sky by the angel Gabriel, as we said, to the Prophet Muhammad. And so this night is a very special night. People pray a lot in it and they ask for forgiveness. They don't know exactly which night it is in the last 10 days of Ramadan, but the religious activity in that period will be very recommended for all Muslims. Many of them, I think, they stay in the mosque. Actually, yes, they don't work at all. They just worship and pray and eat in the last 10 days or of the month or something like that. It's something religious anyway. Once Ramadan is finished and the official religious establishments announce that, let's say, that the day is the last day of Ramadan, that we start having the Muslims and Egyptians will have a celebration of Eid. Eid is like a feast, okay, where the children all enjoy themselves. Yes, Eid is for children, obviously. But I forgot to mention, by the way, this is part of the decoration of the Ramadan. These lanterns are made of tin, and modern ones they are made of plastic. Okay, and they can have like batteries, and they play songs of the holy months and so on. But still, the traditional old ones where you can put a candle and walk with it in the street to light the place, and gives a feeling of spreads a feeling of very pleasurable. Okay, like old tradition when before they had the lamps and electricity. So these are lanterns that they use. They call them fanus. Okay, fanus, and they are very very colorful, and the children love them in Ramadan. Anyway, we were talking about once Ramadan is over, the Eid comes, and all the Muslims and the Egyptians, they go out to pray in the morning together and congratulate each other on Eid. Children get lots of nice new clothes, okay, shoes and everything, and then they also children they play in the streets. They get money. They are given money, okay, not too much, but money enough to make them go and buy sweets and play in the streets and play football and other games as well. So all these activities happen in Eid, and Eid after Ramadan is for 3 days. So everything there's a holiday during official holiday in the government in these 3 days, and no work. And the Egyptians, many of them, they go out to the public parks, okay, to the I don't know, the zoo or any places that got green spaces and trees and grass where children will be playing football and running around, having fun, hide and seek and all that kind of stuff. And the adults will sit and relax and in places where they can have shadow, it's not under the sun, because the sun is so. Mind you, I think that many of the Egyptians are conditioned actually, bodily wise, genetically, I think to stand the heat. Imagine those who build the pyramids. Okay, they must be superhumans. Okay, to move all these stones to build such a massive, I don't know, million of stones to build a pyramid under scorcher heat, sweltering, extremely difficult conditions. So I think the Egyptians are used to the heat, but still it's recommended for all of you guys, if you walking under the sun, try and use sunblock, as I said before, and wear hats and light cotton clothes. Okay, most of the year, the weather most of the year in Egypt is very hot, and in the summer it's extremely hot. Here's a photo of Egyptian Muslims praying for Eid early in the morning. You can see they are side by side, men and women, okay? Men and women. And once the prayer is finished, they congratulate each other and exchange presents and sweets and give gifts to the children. Here you can see some Egyptian children celebrating the Eid with balloons and out in the streets. More picture of Eid celebration outside in the streets after the end of the holy months. More pictures. Obviously, these are more celebrations in Eid in Cairo. Obviously, the whole month of Ramadan, okay, from beginning to the end, and the Eid period, the 3 days of Eid for festivities, are very commercialized. Okay, there will be lots of advert on television, lots of excellent programs for the Egyptian people to watch. Okay, almost like the best that there is to offer will be there. Buying clothes and shoes and gifts for the Eid, especially for the children, okay, is enormous. So it's a very commercial period. It's exactly like Christmas, when we go out to buy presents for the children under the Christmas tree. Exactly the same thing happens in Egypt, and the children will be very much looking forward for the Eid, for the money they're gonna get, and for the clothes and the shoes and the toys that they're gonna have. Okay, so it's we can say that it's the same, really. That's been some form of I don't know, business-like side of the holy months. Okay, the same like Christmas, commercialized. Yes, it is, and lots of businessmen will be waiting for the holy months eagerly, because they know that they will be making huge profits. Okay, right. It's a trade. Okay, some people trade for money and some people trade with God. As the true spirit, as a friend explained it to me, that is to live like a monk almost. Okay, it's like you stop eating completely. You don't eat with large amounts of food like most people do. No, you eat as little as possible. You pray all the time. You ask for forgiveness. It's the spiritual side of the holy months of Ramadan that is the true spirit. That the real people like people who understand the meaning of Ramadan as a holy month. While some other people obviously look at it as a commercial season, with no harm in that, but sometimes commercialization take over the spiritual side of the holy months. That happens for Christmas as well, but I think it's a spiritual side that's very, very attracts person to admire, okay, Muslims for their adherence to their religion and their the way they treat each other during that month. There's extremely great deal of love and support and help and kindness, actually, and warmth that I've noticed from the Egyptian people in that period. It's just exactly like the Christmas spirit we have in the United Kingdom and all over the Christian world. I think that we probably covered most of the subjects in the holy months of Ramadan. Okay, if you want to know more, there's plenty more on the internet for you to see pictures, photos, and the subject that talks about it in more details. If you are curious about the about Islam as a religion, you can also find lots of websites that will help you explain to you about it. But we have a limited time for the video. I think it's over half an hour now, but it's been very pleasant actually, and I'm honored to discuss and talk about such a holy month and to know a lot more about it. Okay, and that's it, girls and guys. And as they say, happy Ramadan for everybody. Okay. Wish you all the happiness and good time. I wish you forgiveness from the Almighty and wish you all the children, all the young students to get all the presents and the gifts they expect to get. And I thank you.